Hi guys, how y'all doing? Welcome to the live. If y'all can hear me, let me know down in the chat. Click the like button on your way in, you guys. Okay, I think I can see it moving now. Is it moving? How is everybody doing this evening? Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, good, good, good. Let's get this set up right. Thank you guys, Virgo Vision, Dominique. Thank you for letting me know y'all could hear me. How are y'all doing today? My lady, U6C, how are you? Y'all doing good this evening? So y'all, we got an update. We're gonna go over. We're gonna give it just a couple minutes while everybody come in. Everybody hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. It is a free way to support the channel. So please don't be afraid to do that. Support the channel, support the channel. It is free. Hit the like button, subscribe. So y'all see the thumbnail. We're gonna be talking about this defamation case with Maurice Scott. We've been stuck on the countersuit for some time now, but it looks like the case is finally going to be moving forward after the unsuccessful appeal filed by the YouTuber. So we're going to get in here and we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to let people roll on in. Y'all tap the like button as y'all come in. So, y'all know we've been hearing. I think this is my first time talking to y'all. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I think this is my first live of the year. So we're kicking the year off with some little tea. We got to keep up with these court cases and get them wrapped up. And hopefully we'll be moving on pretty soon. This has been going on for over a year. So we're going to talk about the case. I know y'all been hearing conflicting information. That's why I always bring the documents to you guys. I'm not reporting any false information. Y'all know how the liars like to do. Happy New Year, public enemy. Well, public frenemy number one. How are you doing? Thank you so much. It's been good so far, y'all. It's been good. I've been enjoying myself, my family, trying to get some rest and relax before these kids get back in school and having to get up and go every single day. So I've been having a good holiday. I've enjoyed myself as much as I hope you all have. So we're not gonna go too long, y'all. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna hit the 5 minute mark. We're not gonna even wait to the 10 minute mark. Everybody that comes in a little late, they're gonna have to watch the replay, get caught up. But we're gonna discuss this defamation suit, child. Hi, Big Queen shit. How are you? Thanks for joining the live, everybody. Thanks for the comments. Y'all tap that like button as you come in. Tap that like button. So where we left off with the last update, of course, we seen that the appeal that was filed by the YouTuber Black Titanic was dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. Um, they had to wait till this entire case was over before they could file a appeal. So her attorneys kind of jumped the gun on that. That was dismissed. Her writ of mandamus was also dismissed, and they have a status hearing coming up in March just to get the courts and everyone involved caught up on what's been going on with the appeal and move forward. We discussed that in the last live that I did. So if you guys haven't already, y'all might want to go check that last live I did out. I've also been dropping videos on the case, giving you guys updates. So if y'all haven't seen those, y'all might want to check those out as well. They are on the channel. Support the channel and like the videos. So after the appeal was dismissed, Everybody, we were waiting on the March court date, but Maurice, he went ahead at the top of the year and he got ahead of some things. And it looks like he may have added some new defendants onto the case. So let me bring it up on my other device because it's kind of hard to read when I put it on the screen for you guys. But the documents will be on the screen. We don't just talk over here. We're going to show y'all. We're going to give y'all some visuals. And of course, y'all can look up these documents yourself. These are public records. They are available to the public. Don't just, take my word for it. Go research yourselves. But I am going to show you in black and white, something that the others don't seem to want to do. Now, so we see this was electronically filed on January 4th, 2026. That was yesterday, and it was filed by Maurice Scott. He is the plaintiff in this case. Again, this is the original defamation lawsuit filed by Maurice Scott against several YouTubers, Black Titanic, Here for the Hot Tea, and also another defendant by the name of Anonymous. So this is the original complaint, and this is how the case will be moving forward. And let's get into it, y'all. So we see that this is titled Plaintiff's Second Amended Complaint with Jury Request. Again, this is from Maurice Scott of Love and Marriage, Huntsville. And this is his second amended complaint. And it says this action arises out of repeated violation of Alabama state law by Black Titanic, aka BT, aka Helen Clark, aka Helen Griffin, aka Oma, hereinafter Black Titanic. Ooh, she got a lot of AKAs on it. He lists Sarita McNeil as anonymous, and he lists the YouTuber Here for Hot Tea. As a result of their purposeful and reckless publications of false, defamatory, offensive, and harmful statements regarding plaintiff's reputation and profession. Number 2, the defendants engaged in a race to the bottom to be the first to share the most malicious, salacious, offensive, repulsive, and divisive clickbait content to garner viewership, increase engagement, and financial benefit from the respective audience as content creators, bloggers, or vloggers on YouTube, Instagram, and other social media platforms. Number 3, plaintiff found a false and defamatory video stating, amongst other things, that the plaintiff was a convicted felon, wasn't competent or qualified to practice law in Alabama, and couldn't represent clients in court. Plaintiff was made aware of more YouTube videos and comments publishing this false information. To avoid litigation, the plaintiff then made a video on Instagram and provided public comments on defendants' defamatory videos, which provided correct information regarding plaintiff's record and profession, and requested a retraction and a public apology for the damages caused by the defendants' false statements. But the defendants have not offered a retraction or an apology. To the contrary, they doubled down and scoffed at the request. And he says, let's see. Okay. Kind of lost where I was, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, we had jurisdiction. I got lost. I don't know, yeah. Okay, it says personal jurisdiction exists over all defendants individually as they have the necessary minimum contact with the state of Alabama. And this suit arises out of their specific conduct with and directed to Alabama. Number 7, This court has jurisdiction over the subject matter of this action venue. As plaintiff lives in Alabama and the acts, omissions, or injury complained of occurred in this county. Parties. Plaintiff Maurice J. Scott, hereinafter Plaintiff R. Scott, is a natural person who is a resident of Alabama. Helen Griffin, aka Black Titanic, is a natural person who is a resident of Georgia. Sarita is a natural person who is a resident of Missouri, here for hot tea. And her husband, he has them both listed, are individually and collectively, who upon information are believed to reside in Georgia. 13, defendant, Instant Checkmate LLC. So this is one of the new defendants he added to the case, which is Instant Checkmate LLC, is a Delaware limited liability company with its principal place of business being in California. Number 14, the defendant Intellus LLC is a Delaware limited liability company with its principal place of business in California. Number 15, defendant Truthfinder LLC is a Delaware corporation with its principal place of business would be in California. So those are the new defendants right there that he is listing, all of those LLCs. And just looking at it, I think this is where they claim to get the background check from Maurice Scott. They claim to have got the information that he is saying is defamatory. Hey, everybody in the chat, please click the like button on your way in. Okay, there you go. It had to catch up. Okay, can y'all hear me? Okay, I see somebody saying no sound. Y'all think the computer, I'm just clicking too much stuff over here, baby. And it stopped responding, but it looks like it's responding now because I see the comments that I clicked are now showing up. Okay. We ain't won much. You ain't missed much. Hi, Scorpion Miss. Hi, Sweet Essence. KBR. Let's thank y'all for joining. I can't wait to hear this one. Hi, Mimi. Okay. Still on the first. Well, we're not on the first document, but we're on the fourth page. But we're just getting started, y'all. Maurice has out a motion, his second amended motion, and he has added some new defendants, and that's what we just went over. So the new defendants are Instant Checkmate LLC, Intelligence LLC, Truthfinder LLC, and Instant. That's the same one, Instant Checkmate. So he says, number 16 says defendants Instant Checkmate, Intellus, and Truthfinder have operated as a common enterprise while engaging in the unlawful acts and practices alleged herein. Defendants are in a interrelated network of companies that have common ownership agreement, business functions. Because defendants have operated as a common enterprise, each of them is jointly and severely liable for. Number 17, K, thereby legal entity, person, firm, or corporation that conducted wrongful acts. Names of the fictitious party are unknown to the plaintiff at this time, but will be added by amendment ascertained. Number 18. Any reference to any defendant refers to that defendant as well as the fictitious defendants, and in any reference to defendants refers to all defendants along with the fictitious defendants. Factual allegations. And I ain't been moving y'all along, y'all, because I'm reading from a different device. I ain't been moving y'all along. I think let me make it bigger. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, factual allegations. Number 19. Plaintiff has been a member in good standing of the Alabama State Bar since being admitted on June 18th, 2020. Number 20. Plaintiff graduated from Birmingham School of Law and passed the February 2020 bar. Number 21. Plaintiff's ability to practice law has never been restricted by the Alabama State Bar after being admitted. Number 22. Plaintiff has never been convicted of a felony. Plaintiff has been an original cast member of No Love still since it premiered in January 2018. Number 24. Huntsville follows the lives of individuals who live or work in around Huntsville, Alabama. Number 25. The reality show has gained significant popularity and routinely ranks in the top 50 cable television shows on Saturday on which it airs. 26. Plaintiff has also gained popularity based on his appearance on the reality show, social media presence, familiar life, and for work he does. 20. Blogger, hereinafter content creator that follows the lives of individuals on or contributions, likes, Black Titanic holds herself out and or promotes herself as doing work comparable to an investigative journalist. 30. Black Titanic holds herself out to be an author who produces various literary works. Number 31. Black Titanic regularly posts information regarding the cast, participants, and families of the members of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Number 32. Black Titanic hosts live streams where she includes panelists and guests to communicate with her audience. Number 33. Black Titanic holds herself out to be a content creator that profits from spreading false, malicious, defamatory, scandalous, and divisive content to enrage and engage her audience in a harassment campaign against various celebrities to elicit a response that will in turn further popularize her platform. 34. Black Titanic grows her audience by publishing false, sensationalized information that is not shared on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Black Titanic, upon information and belief, started a YouTube channel on or around January 3rd, 2020, which had a total of 412 subscribers as of December 14th, 2023. Number 36. Black Titanic, upon information and belief, published content on YouTube that primarily covered African American protests. Number 37, Black Titanic, upon information and belief, started a different YouTube channel and changed the direction. Hold on, where am I? And changed the direction of her published content on or around April 1st, 2020, which has a total of 10.4K subscribers, 840 videos, and 2.3 million views as of December 14th, 2023. Number 38. Yeah, forgive me. I'm a little stopped up over here. I got a slight cold. That's why I'm over here sniffling like crazy. Number 40. Black Titanic, upon information, published one of her most viewed videos, live stream videos about plaintiff on or around June 19th, 2023. Hereinafter, the video won. So he did submit some exhibits, and we're gonna get to them exhibits he submitted in just a second. Hello, Tay. Thank you so much for joining. What are y'all saying in the chat? Hi, Scorpio Miss. Yes. Public Enemy. Are you speaking to them in chat? Okay, yeah. So it says, she published her most viewed video June 19, 2023, where she made numerous reckless, false, and defamatory statements, including Maurice Scott has about 11 criminal records. He's a drug lord. He got 12 counts on him. Most of them he was found guilty. I just stumbled upon it. Maurice record was sealed. A drug lord, y'all. He pled guilty for possession and manufacturing drugs. He stayed in and out of jail for possession and manufacturing drugs. Y'all, he got 10 charges. He probably got more than that. So he said that what was said in her first video. And then for number 41, he said Black Titanic, anonymous and here for hot tea, upon information and belief, acquired a copy of a report or reports provided by Instant Checkmate LLC, Intellus and or True Finder LLC that contained inaccurate, false, or misleading statements that the plaintiff was convicted of felonies, crimes, or had a criminal record, aliases, and or associated plaintiff with cases and crimes in different cities and states. So they said in their videos that Maurice was a drug lord. He had some alias. He had did time. They was alleging a lot about Maurice, and he's saying it is all false. Number 42. Upon information and belief, Instant Checkmate LLC, Intellus, and or True Finder intentionally or recklessly assembled reports that associate individuals. They recklessly assembles reports that associates individuals with criminal records to individuals without criminal records. So he's saying those websites are associating people that don't have records with people that do have records. 43. Upon information and belief, Instant Checkmate, Intellus, and or True Finder make their misleading reports to encourage their customers to republish the false information. So I guess this is how he's tying these new defendants in. He's saying that they are purposely misleading their customers, and they give them the similar names of people that have records, so the people will then purchase the full report. So that's how he's tying these new places into this case. Number 4, upon information and belief, Instant Checkmate LLC, Intellus, and or True Finder make their misleading reports to encourage additional purchases. Number 45, upon information and belief, Instant Checkmate LLC, Intellis, and or Truefinder have been sued multiple times by the Federal Trade Commission or other governmental regulatory agencies related to their business practices. Number 46, Sarita McNeil, under the pseudonym Anonymous, is a natural person who holds herself out to be a practicing attorney. Number 48, Black Titanic included Anonymous in video one, in which both defendants made false defamatory statements regarding plaintiff's criminal record and profession. Number 49, in video one, Anonymous made the false defamatory statement, "We're going to keep putting the pressure. You just did it. Now we know why Maurice has some kind of law license, but he's not working. There's a reason." Number 50. In video one, Anonymous made a false defamatory statement about plaintiff's professional capacity, competence, and ability to practice law. "I'll tell you, Black Titanic, if he is misleading on his website about the address, he could not only lose his license." Black Titanic: "Well, what license? He got a certificate, honey." Anonymous: "No, I know, but I'm just saying he won't ever be able to practice." Exactly. He could be sanctioned, but it's just a bunch of fakeness and fakery. Number 51. In the video, Anonymous and Black Titanic made false defamatory statements that the plaintiff had a criminal background that limited his professional ability to practice or go to court. Now, this is the problem. Usually, with your bar license, you should be able to put your shingle up and work. He's not working right now. He can't practice like I would. Go to court, do criminal cases, landlord tenant cases, civil cases, you name it. It might be that they are limiting him. So he's quoting things that they said in the video, that what he alleges they said in the video. It says they may be limiting him to do credit repair only, and that's why he's limited. In video one, Anonymous made the false and defamatory statement that the plaintiff was practicing because he wasn't competent or ethical. I know in my state, it's a difference. It's called the rules of professional conduct. Side note, crazy how now all this stuff that came out, how Anonymous is saying in her state is different. You gotta be competent and you gotta be ethical. Child, with all this stuff that then came out about her. So she said, you have to know the law and be ethical. Well, that might be his problem why he's not practicing. He can't be ethical and he can't be competent. Number 53. Plaintiff has continuously been a practicing attorney in good standing in Alabama since he was admitted and has not been limited in his ability to practice. Number 54. Black Titanic, upon information and belief, published one of the most viewed live stream videos about the plaintiff on or around November 22nd, 2023. Hereinafter, video number 2, where she made numerous reckless, false, and defamatory statements. Number 55, Black Titanic, upon information and belief, published a false defamatory statement, which she responded in a comment on video 2. "I can't believe this is the same Maurice Scott." Then Black Titanic replied, said, "Yes, it is. He got an extensive record in Baltimore. The information was given to me personally by someone in the same job description with Maurice, allegedly." Number 56. I'm making sure y'all on here. Okay, y'all on here with me. And number 56 says, Black Titanic, upon information and belief, published a false and defamatory statement when she responded to the comment on video 2. "I'm in shock." Black Titanic said, "Everyone from Michigan and Baltimore know Maurice as the street pharmacist, And my best friend did time after Maurice snitched on everybody. They all work for the same suppliers, allegedly. So he said she was on here. Not only was she saying reckless defamatory stuff in her video, she was responding to comments, doubling down on this is him, this is fat. Tay said his raggedy ass should send this transcript to Missouri. Yeah. He might just do. Who knows? She knows the law for everybody else to follow except her. Miss McNeil. Yeah, she gonna have to pay that man. Child. So Maurice said he coming after this, y'all. She said 57. Miss Bless Titanic, on the information and belief, published a false and defamatory statement when she responded to the comment on video 2. And she said, yes, he got busted in Baltimore as well when he lived with Kimmy, allegedly. So she said she was spilling all kind of tea, and Maurice said they ain't had no tea, child. It was pissed. So he said she stayed with Kimmy in Baltimore. Number 59 said plaintiff has never been to Baltimore. Maurice said lies in my sugar mama voice. He said no, he ain't never been to Baltimore. Number 60, Black Titanic, upon information and belief, published false and defamatory statements when she stated he is still on probation. He snitching, y'all. And Maurice sentenced to 120 months for drugs while displaying an image of the plaintiff in video 2. So she was showing his image while she was allegedly spreading these lies, according to Maurice. Number 61, upon information and belief, Anonymous on or around January 4th, 2024, obtained a report from Instant Checkmate LLC, Intellis LLC, and or Truefinder LLC that falsely associated the crimes and information of other people with the plaintiff. Okay. Let me see where we're at. Okay. So 61 says, okay, we read 61. 62, here for Hati. Upon information and belief, acts as a partnership comprised of her and her husband. He has their names listed with a principal place of business with natural person who resides in Georgia. And then he says, number 63, all acts performed by Here for Hati and her husband I'm trying to make sure I ain't got no other information on this, you guys. So give me a second. I'm scanning through it to make sure it don't have nobody address. But I think he got the old address for them anyway. I think they have since moved. But I'm making sure he don't have any of that in there. Where were we? In Georgia. All acts performed by Here for Hati and her husband were done for the benefit of Here for Hati and with the knowledge and consent of both her and her husband. Number 64, all acts performed by Here for Hati and her husband were within the line and scope of their agency or employment relationship with each defendant. So what he mean by 64? Now that got me kind of guessing because he said, let's read that again. He said, all acts performed by Here for Hati and her husband were within the line and scope of their agency or employment relationship with each defendant. 65, Here for Hati and her husband worked together to create content that follow the lives, works, and relationships of individuals on or related to the Love and Marriage Huntsville. Number 66, Here for Hati promotes its YouTube channel as a place to follow reality TV shows, including Love and Marriage Huntsville, where it solicits donations or contributions, likes, and shares of its content from its audience in various social media platforms, including YouTube. Then he says, number 67, here for high tea upon information belief holds itself out and or promotes videos where it attempts to expose information not shared on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Number 68, here for high tea regularly posts information regarding the cast, participants, and families of members of the Love and Marriage Huntsville show. Number 69, here for high tea hosts live streams where she includes commentary about the plaintiff with its audience. Number 70, here for high tea holds itself as a content creator that profits from spreading false, malicious, defamatory, scandalous, and divisive content to enrage and engage its audience in harassment campaigns against various celebrities, elicits a response that will in turn further popularize its platform. Here for high tea upon information and belief accomplishes its goal by publishing false, sensationalized information that is not shared on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Number 72, here for high tea upon information and belief, started a YouTube channel on January 18th, 2015, which has a total of, at the time, 15.9K subscribers, 4.3 million views as of December 14th, 2023. Number 73, here for high tea, did not perform any independent, trustworthy research or investigation to inquire whether the information it published about the plaintiff's criminal record and professional status were true. Number 74, here for high tea published a false and defamatory statement as a thumbnail image to a video on YouTube that accused plaintiff of being a criminal, and it says see exhibit AP2, page 2. Okay. 75. In here for hot tea's video on June 2nd, 2023, upon information and belief, here for hot tea together with her husband published false defamatory images attributing multiple criminal charges to the plaintiff. Number 76. In here for hot tea's video on June 22nd, 2023, upon information and belief, here for hot tea and her husband recklessly certified Black Titanic's false information about plaintiff when it did not reasonably verify the information by stating, shout out to Miss Black Titanic for dropping this tea because she does some really good investigative reporting. Number 77. In here for hot tea's video on June 22nd, 2023, upon information and belief, here for hot tea and her husband knew the published defamatory statements were false, had serious doubt as to whether the statements were false, or recklessly avoided the truth of the statement when it stated, I don't know what possessed him, other than financial gain, and the court had all of them documented. So I don't necessarily have to say allegedly, but we're just going to say allegedly. And obviously he could be a better person today. Number 78. Here for high tea, upon information and belief, admitted that it was motivated by profit, exposure, or profited by the false and defamatory statement when it stated, because, hold on, damn, I got lost. When it state, hold on, it's that platform. She said, when it stated, because, ho, if you really felt this serious, why haven't you emailed me yet? My email is all on my platform. Why haven't you emailed me, ho? So you're using this to stay relevant? I'm using it to make money. So that is what he claimed here for hot tea had to say. 79, he said here for hot tea, upon information and belief, wanted plaintiff to give its platform exposure, when it requested that the plaintiff give its YouTube or other social media platforms exposure when it stated. Okay, so like I said, if this is you, okay, under this United Legal bullshit, Get on your Instagram so I know it's real, because I don't know this is real. This is a troll for all I know. Okay? I've already spoken to everybody that I needed to speak to about this situation. So he's saying that is what Here for Hot Tea had to say. Number 80. Here for Hot Tea, upon information and belief, made false and defamatory statements with doubts about the statement's truth when it stated that he has some charge that is for unlawful possession. And this is in the court for Baltimore City. I'ma still say allegedly because he swears up and down that he's gonna sue somebody. I don't know why he threatens that you guys do know that he has a certificate. So he can't just be up in the courtroom. He has to be up under someone. What are you doing over in Baltimore with your yellow looking ass? I'm sorry, I had a laugh. Maurice repeating this stuff in court documents is so fucking funny though. This man is so funny. 81. Here for Hot Tea, after being informed by plaintiff that the information Here for Hot Tea published was false, stated it wasn't going to correct the information by stating, I'm going to acknowledge that a troll got in my comment section and that a very old video from 5 months ago trying to play itself as Maurice. Number 82. Here for Hot Tea, prior to performing any reasonable search and after being informed by the plaintiff that the information Here for Hot Tea published was false, still published false information about the plaintiff's ability to practice law without meaningfully inquiring whether plaintiff had the ability to practice law, stating, so he said, this is Here for Hot Tea. She said, ho, do you have a certificate or not? Okay, get to the point. Do you have a certificate or not? And did nobody do any real research? Because you are irrelevant. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? You're irrelevant. Somebody mentions you in a video and it's a bit interesting. Well, piggyback off of it. But other than that, you're irrelevant. Nobody is doing research on you, ho. Nobody. Nobody. So he said that was Here for Hot Tea. Tay said this is the main part that had me hollering. Yeah, I am over here, y'all. These people expose all this shit. Number 8, he said here. Yeah. So number 83 said Here for Hot Tea, upon information and belief, to mention its YouTube channel or name would increase its platform when it's stated, I got plenty of shit to say to you. Maurice, don't fucking play with me, okay? So like I said, if this is you, okay, under the United Legal bullshit, get on your Instagram so I know it's real. Because I don't know that it's real. This is a troll for all I know, okay? I've already spoken to everybody that I need to speak to about this situation. Okay, then that's how Here for Hot Tea was over there handling him after he was trying to let him know that the statements were false. He's saying they was still over there handling him mighty rough and talking about him. So we going to on 84. It says on November 27th, 2023, hey, Journeyology to the Root. On November 27th, 2023, in an effort to minimize the defendant's defamatory statements, plaintiff made a post on Instagram offering the truth and requested a retraction and a public apology. So y'all remember when Uncle Fester got on there with his turtleneck and his blazer and he had fingers interlocked, he was on them that they needed to retract and he wanted a public apology. So he letting the court know that he requested that on November 27, 2023. 85. Defendants, upon information and belief, knew that the plaintiff requested a retraction and an apology for the defamatory statements. 86. Here for Hot Tea knew the plaintiff requested a retraction and apology for the false and defamatory statement. But it responded by stating, so he said, this is here for Hati's response to him asking her for an apology and a retraction. He said, she said, but what I can say is to the hoes that got in my comments trying to say that we were getting sued for some shit like that, ho, I ain't never scared. I've never been scared of any threats. This man claimed he's such a lawyer, then you would know that you need to put an at on it. Ho, you cannot come on Beyonce's internet and try to demand people take down their videos and try to demand things from people. And you don't put an at on it. Number 87. Number 87 here for how T knew or should have known that it published a false statement about the plaintiff. Number 88. Here for how T upon information and belief failed to reasonably verify whether the plaintiff had a criminal record, but recklessly published Black Titanic's assertion of the plaintiff's record. Number 89. Defendants have refused to publicly retract, apologize, or repudiate the false and defamatory statements published by the plaintiff. So y'all, look, we had 19. So this was about 30 pages long, you guys. We're gonna keep getting into it. When Tay Talk says not the rough handling. Yes, baby. They was over there handling Maurice real rough. He asked for his apology. She told her, called him a whole bag of hoes and told him she ain't doing nothing unless he at her. Maurice is telling it all, y'all. It says number 90. Maurice Scott is an extremely common name, and defendants intentionally disregarded any readily available evidence that the statements regarding plaintiff's ability to practice law or criminal record were fictitious. Number 91. Defendants intentionally or recklessly ignored and blatantly invented completely false assertions and facts when presented with inquiries regarding the veracity of their defamatory statements about plaintiff. No evidence at all supported the claim that the plaintiffs have ever had a law certificate, went to Baltimore, or was the same Maurice Scott that committed the crimes. The assertions that the plaintiff lived in Baltimore is completely unfounded, as defendants knew the probable falsity of the assertion because it was an invention of their own creation. On the contrary, the Alabama State Bar requires a very high standard of conduct for its members before and after being admitted to practice. Defendants could easily have inquired and in less than 5 minutes received an answer. 92. Practicing law without a license in Alabama is a crime, and the defendant's statements that the plaintiff was engaged in the practice of law without a license naturally inferred that he was actively engaging in criminal activity. So he included that in there because that's defamation too if you accusing somebody of committing a crime. So he made sure to add that in there, that practicing law without the license is a crime. So they're accusing him of committing a crime in their defamatory statements. So 93, defendant have unscrupulously pursued their goal of profit regardless of its effect on the plaintiff and his profession. Their effrontery in regard to the basic norms of social decency while creating attack videos that flout essential. Defamation laws is evidenced by the growth of their respective audiences as a direct result of purposely or recklessly promoting false or defamatory statements about plaintiff, no matter how unethical, deceitful, or illegal it is. Not Maurice claiming Um, not Maurice out here trying to take credit for their channels growing. Baby, he's saying y'all only seen that type of growth for spreading these lies about him. Okay, Ike, if you say so. Number 40. I'm sorry, y'all. Number 94. Defendants willfully embraced the deceitful publications of the defamatory statements as they were integral parts of their marketing plan. So he said this was all part of their marketing plan to increase their viewership. Defendants repeatedly requested likes, shares, comments, and donations. They were incentivized to make false assertions with the knowledge that the statements were false or with reckless disregard for the fact that they were false. Do I got y'all on the right page? Yeah, y'all on the right page. 97. Defendants' investigation of the truth or the defamatory statements was grossly inadequate under the circumstances. 98. Said defendants caused, induced, or encouraged republication of the false statements about the plaintiff. 99. All the affirmation defamation statement about the plaintiff are false. 100. Defendants knew or should have known that publishing the false statement would likely harm the plaintiff's reputation and profession. Defendants voluntarily made false and defamatory statements about the plaintiff's reputation and profession. 102. Defendants sufficiently made false defamatory statements and defendants sufficiently made the false defamatory statements of and concerning plaintiff. 103. Defendants' defamatory statements were sufficiently factual to be susceptible to being proved true or false. So he's saying they could have looked it up and proved that it was false. 104. Defendant, in connection with the false defamatory statement, published imagings of and concerning plaintiffs. So they put his photos up. 105. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's wrongful and unlawful acts, the plaintiff has been damaged. 106. The wrongful acts of the defendant described caused the following concrete and particularized harm and losses. A. Emotional distress, including humiliation, fear, worry, and physical manifestations of same. B. Lost time spent attempting to rectify the harm caused. C. Harm to personal and professional reputation in the community. D. Such other harm and losses as may be shown at trial. Let me make sure y'all, hold on. 107. Okay. 107. Defendants must pay all sums needed to compensate for all harm and losses approximately caused by the prohibited acts described and return plaintiff to the position enjoyed before the wrongful energy. 108. For those harms and losses reasonably expected to continue, defendants must compensate for their expected continuing impact and effect. 109. Information and belief all of the defendant's actions or inactions were performed with common law and or constitutional malice. 110. The harm and losses caused by the defendants were likely redressed by a favorable judicial decision through an award of damages, assessments of fine and punitive damages, and an award of attorney fees and all litigation costs and injunctive relief. 111. Due to the intentional or reckless nature of the wrongful acts described, plaintiff requests an award of punitive damages and attorney fees and litigation expenses beyond and in excess of those damages necessary to compensate plaintiff for injuries resulting from defendant's conduct as a direct or proximate result of the foregoing. 112. Additionally, due to the intentional or reckless nature of the wrongful acts described, defendant must pay symbolic damages and punitive damage to punish said conduct and deter its reoccurrence. 113. Plaintiff is entitled to an order permanently enjoining defendants and all other persons acting for, with, by, through, or under authority of defendants, or in concert or individually, and each of them from making, broadcasting, or publishing any false statement regarding plaintiff's ability to practice law, profession, occupation, law office, or practicing law in violation of any law, or administrative proceedings, or that plaintiff has been convicted or of an indictable crime, as well as order recurring defendants to retract, remove, and repudiate in full all defamatory and disparaging statements made regarding the aforementioned. First count liable per se as to defendant Helen Griffin, here for hot tea, anonymous, true finder, instant checkmate, Intellis. 114. The allegations contained here and above are repeated as if alleged verbatim to the extent not inconsistent with the allegations of this cause of action. 115. Defendants were aware that at the time the defendant published this defamatory statement about plaintiff to a third party, the statements were made with knowledge of the falsity of with reckless disregard to its truth. 116. The statements were made about the plaintiff profession, trade, competency, and implied plaintiff was convicted of a single or multiple felonies. 117. The defamatory statements defendant published were not protected by any recognized privilege. 118. Defendant acted with malice and actual malice when they made the defamatory statements intending to injure plaintiff. 119. As a direct or proximate result of the defendant's above action, plaintiff has been damaged, as described in this lawsuit, including past and future monetary losses, past and future damages, reputational harm to plaintiff, general and professional reputation, past and future mental distress and emotional anguish, along with physical manifestations and other damages that will be presented to the theory of the fact. Second count of slander. Um, so we go on to the fictitious defendants. 120. The allegations contained here above are repeated as if alleged verbatim. So I think this is all the same stuff right here, y'all. Let me make sure y'all caught up. 120. Yeah, he repeats the same thing. 126. The above allegations are repeated. Yeah, defendant published false information. So you guys, y'all can read through that as directed. But he's literally repeating everything over and over. The defendants published the information with knowledge and acted with reckless disregard. So all of this stuff is just a repeat of what he's putting for each defendant. So yeah, those few pages right there were just literally the same, but I still clicked through for you guys that I want to go through the rewatch so y'all can see it's all there. It's literally the same verbiage from there all the way through. So those few pages were the same. So let's get to the prayer of relief. Um, Okay, let's start at 135 and we're wrapping this up, you guys. It says, as directed and proximate result of the defendants above action, plaintiff has been damaged as described in this lawsuit, including past and future monetary losses, past and future damages, reputational harm to plaintiff's general and professional reputation, past and future mental distress and emotional anguish, along with physical manifestations and other damages that will be presented to the theory of the fact. Plaintiff demands a trial by jury. So he does want a jury trial. He says defendants should be held accountable for their unprivileged injuries caused to plaintiff. Prayer for relief. Wherefore premises consider plaintiff prays that the judgment be entered against each defendant for all damages allowable, including statutory, actual, compensational, nominal, and punitive cost, expenses, attorney fees, injunctive relief to prevent further violations, and for such other and further relief as may be just and proper. And it was respectfully submitted on January 4th, 2026 by Maurice J. Scott. And he does have the certificate of service where he it was certified on January 4th, 2025, that a copy was foregoing was electronically filed to the clerk of the circuit courts using the out-of-file system, and he sent it to Karen Humphreys, which is the attorney for Black Titanic. It was sent to Miss McNeil, who is anonymous. It was sent to an address for Hifra Hati and her husband, and so it was sent to the Oprah Winfrey Network LLC as well, their attorney. So a copy was sent to all of the defendants. I don't know why he sent it to OWN, but I guess they won't be like fully dismissed from having to get the certificate of service until after the March court date, where it will stand. So there we have it, you guys. Maurice Scott did file his second amended motion, where he did add 3 new defendants to this lawsuit. Now let's look at the exhibits real quick. So this is Exhibit A. And in Exhibit A, we see he has screenshots of the videos. So Exhibit A was the screenshot of video 1, which would be the original video from Black Titanic, where Maurice is saying she made all of those defamatory statements alleging that he was a drug kingpin, stating that he did time in Baltimore when he lived with Kimmy, saying he had several drug charges. And then on the bottom, we see it was a second video done by Miss Black Titanic. He has that screenshot down there. And then this is also the second video from up top is the second video from Black Titanic. Down at the bottom was Here for Hot Tea's video, where she repeated the information that Miss Black Titanic released. And you see in her thumbnail, this is the thumbnail he was referring to, where he said Here for Hot Tea, made a thumbnail using his picture and insinuating that he had committed crimes. And you see the title is Maurice is a jailbird. And I'm sorry, that's on the thumbnail. And then her title says Maurice extensive criminal record. So he showed those screenshots. And he's showing these screenshots from the Here for Hot Tea video, where I guess this was supposed to be the background check that they supposedly did on him. And so he put that as the exhibits as well. So those are the screenshots of his exhibits. And he was really hot and bothered by that doggone thumbnail. He was mad about that. And so he did submit some summons, you guys, for the new defendants that he named, which was This is True Finder. So this is the civil summons. It says the complaint or other document which is attached to this summons is important and you must take immediate action to protect your rights. You or your attorneys are required to file an original or your written answer, either admitting or denying each allegation in the complaint or other document with the clerk of the court. A copy of your answers must be mailed. So this is for True Finder LLC. That's a summons that he sent out. This summons is for Intellus LLC, and then this summons is for Instant Checkmate. And those three businesses or corporations. Those are the three new defendants he named in his lawsuit for defamation. What do y'all think about him adding those three defendants, Intellus and um, True Finder, and all of these little online background check websites that people can pay and do background checks on people? So, what do y'all think about him adding that? I don't know how I really feel about that. I don't know how what he's trying to like explore. Well, I see the plan. I'm not gonna even lie, I see the plan. But I wonder what made him really just go ahead and add that on there. Tay said bullshit. So you think it's just bullshit, him adding that on. I can say where he said, I mean, if he has to prove it, don't get me wrong, he's gonna have to prove that those websites intentionally do what he said what they do, which is pull up people with the same name, because they show you people that have the same name, but he's gonna have to prove that because he's saying it's intentional and it's a reason, it's a way for them to get people to buy the backgrounds and to pay for full access. And I think if he can prove that, so hear my words, if he can prove that True Finder and Intellus is intentionally doing that, he might can get a little coin out of them. He might can, but that's gonna be difficult also in my opinion. Because how can you prove that? How can you go about proving that the website is intentionally showing its customers? Because when you type in a name, it is multiple people. It's several people that has the same name. So how can he prove that they just pulling up these people with court records and stuff and just showing it to people? So I think that's gonna be an uphill battle for him. As far as his case against um the content creators, in my opinion, it's hard to prove defamation when you are a public figure. But I don't know. I don't know how this case will end because he did give them a chance to retract. And so that's the only thing that's kind of replaying in my mind is, well, they did not retract when given the chance, you know? So that may be the only thing that kind of works against them, because if it wasn't malicious, why, I think the judge would be like, well, if it wasn't intentional or malicious on y'all part and it was truly a mistake, why didn't y'all retract? I'm not even talking about the apology, but why didn't y'all just come out and retract the statements? So I believe that's something they're going to have to answer when it comes to that. But I don't know. We'll see as it goes. Is he gonna be able to succeed in his defamation case? His case is proven with them. You think so? Say, yeah, I think he does have the evidence of them saying it, but they have to prove intent. They have to prove that it was malicious. So, like I said, I think on their end, they probably kind of worked against themselves by not um, retracting the statements and immediately going on the offense, because we know Black Titanic turned around and filed a countersuit and sued him. So it's like, I don't know how they gonna prove it wasn't malicious when they didn't retract it, because I kind of think that's all they had to do. They should have just retracted it and left it at that if it was an honest mistake. But y'all seen, baby, they dragged Pola Maurice all through the streets of YouTube and he done ran and he done told the courts all about it. He like, shit, fuck that. Sweet Essence says it was malicious because they kept on repeating it for months on their channel with videos. I agree with you, Sweet Essence. I think that's gonna be probably a downfall for them, um, because they did kind of double down on the information that was put out, and so here for Hati, she's saying that she basically just repeated the information from Black Titanic. So who's to say? I think Black Titanic got herself in quite the pickle, and she might not come out of this unscathed. Um, I think they both got some work to do, though. I think they both got their work cut out for them. I mean, we see that they said it. We know they said it. We watched the video about Maurice, so we do know they said this about that man. So yeah, I think it would have just been better for them just to publicly retract it and just issue him an apology. I mean, it didn't have to be a real detailed apology, but they should have definitely put that out there because I think he's going to use that as the whole thing to prove that it was indeed malice towards him. Sweet Essence says, I hope Maurice pulls all the wigs back, and I don't even like Maurice. He has every right to defend his character. That's true. I don't like Maurice either. From what I've seen on TV, watching him on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I definitely do not like his character. But yeah, I agree. He has a right to defend himself when it comes to when it comes to any type of false allegations. Anybody has a right to defend their name. Now you can't be out here just calling people drug kingpins, saying they was moving weight and product. You can't be out here saying that about people if you don't got the proof. So that's just what it is. But I'm interested now that the case is going to be moving forward. I'm very interested to see their claims that they have been stating and repeating for over a year about Maurice trying to gain their information. He's saying that he falsely he filed those subpoena and got access to their information, because that was a question a lot of us had. Like, what did he get? Y'all saying he tried to access and he subpoenaed Google and he subpoenaed PayPal, but what did he actually get? Because they were claiming it was going to be some stuff that we were going to see. So with the case now moving forward and Maurice asking for a jury trial, we're going to definitely keep our eye out on this, because I want to get into that. Um, Shanice said, what now? I don't like him either, but to defame someone is just wrong. Yeah, it is, Shanice. It is. I don't like him. I don't like Maurice at all. He makes very, very stupid comments. He seems to be very immature, but y'all are right. He got every right to defend himself. Hey, Braylon, thank you so much for dropping in. Hey, good people. Hope all is well. I'm live, but saw the notification. Thank you for stopping through. I have to drop through your live. We about to wrap this up and get on off of here. Um, Sharon King says, it is amazing how people change their tones now. Who changing their tone? How do people who changing their tone? Who you talking about? Sharon King. Don't leave us all over here guessing. Let us know who you talking about. Who is it? Girl, I forgot what his lawsuit was about. Okay, Shanice, it's been a long, long, long ride. It has. We got all sidetracked with that countersuit that Black Titanic filed, because they just kept going after OWN. So the case has been like at a standstill as far as that concerned. We know OWN got dismissed 4 times, and then they tied it up even more with the appeal. And so now that all of that stuff is out the way, the case is finally moving forward, and hopefully it'll come to an end this year. Either way, baby, I don't care which way it goes. Just let's see it come to an end and get wrapped up, so we can see. So Sharon King I was still waiting on you to answer about who you were talking about. It's amazing how people change their tones now. We the people would like to know who that shot was for. Who is it for? Put a name on it. Hey, really real. Say hey T from TV and chat. Thank you so much for dropping by. Y'all hit that like button. That's all I had for you guys. Maurice is out here. He back in the courthouse. He putting that little law degree to work, child. We're gonna see who um who comes out on top. Cause really, in my opinion, it really can go either way. Sharon said, I feel that all this mess started with Maurice. I mean, it did start with the lawsuit started with Maurice. It did. He filed his lawsuit. It started with him. But we cannot skip over the fact that essentially, whether we don't like him or not, because I don't like him and I'm not here to defend him, but he was, from how he's telling, he was lied on, and he is an attorney. I don't see that man going in the courthouse and filing a lawsuit where he puts that is a blatant lie, that he has never been arrested. He never asked for an expungement, because remember they said he got it expunged. He put in court documents on record as an attorney in Alabama that he has no felony charges, that he has no arrest related to drugs, and that he has never received an expungement. So I'm sorry, but look, I got to side with Maurice on that. If he put that in them court documents and he put that out there, I don't think he would do that just to do that. He could he could lose his license. He can't just be going to court blatantly lying on the record. So if somebody said the opposite, which they did, he does have every right to come out and get that sorted out. And that's just how it is. People don't want to just say the real of what it is because you dislike this person or you like the other person. It does not matter who you like or dislike. The truth is the truth and facts are facts. Yes, he's a public figure. Yes, we can come on here and push our button and give our commentary and our opinions, but you cannot just blatantly lie on people and say they are convicted felons and they're not. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, everybody. So I want to thank y'all for dropping through. Y'all smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Again, it is a free way to support the channel. I'm gonna keep bringing y'all updates or as they are made available. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. And that's all, peoples. Bye.